Welch, your oh so serious one who really cares a lot of times way too much what you think.
Way too much what you think. And I'm the not so serious one. Don't really give a damn what you think. Your host, Roger Welch. So, what's up today, Michelle?
Ah,
Oh, it's one of those days?
it's been one of those past few days, and actually, we're coming to you guys, I guess, a lot of us with sort of a heavy heart from a lot of things that have gone on here in our country for the past several days over the weekend. And
Seems like it
so
goes in spurts, too. It's like happening a lot.
a lot of things. So I'm referring specifically to some of the mass shootings that have gone on in our country. One specifically in El Paso, Texas, and the other one was in Ohio. And the one in El Paso, Texas, sadly, the shooter came from a town close to ours called Allen, Texas.
Yeah.
And I believe he went to school in Plano, Texas, which is also very familiar and a suburb that's very, very, I know a lot of people from that suburb and a lot of kids from there. And so just a lot of tragedy and a lot of people arguing a lot about what to do about it. And so I started just really, while I was on actually a getaway with some women to Broken Bow in Oklahoma. It was for a bachelorette party for the Southern psychic, Angie Williams, who's absolutely precious. We were not on, social media that much, but we got word of this going on, and it was like, of course, it's sad, and you start thinking about doing a show, and we like to have a fun, uplifting show and really be funny on the show, but that's hard to do when your heart's heavy for people who've had a lot of loss. So we decided to do this show tonight on basically the chakras that are tied to certain areas in our country and across the world. Specifically, we'll zone in on our country. There's even chakras assigned to certain cities, which might be an interesting exercise for everybody listening to start thinking about, what chakras might be assigned to certain cities. I do have one that I can talk to you about later that somebody has done, but I don't know that that's necessarily the end-all authority. I do believe cities have definitely energies to them. Definitely, and I believe cities have certain angels and archangels assigned to them, but they have energies and personalities to the cities, and they have definitely energies, energetic beings, and ley lines underneath those cities. So there's definitely energies, and maybe different parts of different cities have different energies. But I really started thinking maybe we should look into. We're not going to solve everything, and we're not going to get into debates with anybody about what is causing this void. Something's going on in our country and what's causing it. But I did start thinking and talking to Roger and Erica about the fact that, we'll just dive right in, that our collective consciousness, we're all one, and our collective consciousness is hurting right now. The collective is hurting.
Yeah.
And so really wanted to explore, why. So first of all, what is the collective consciousness? What does that mean to you, Roger?
I think it's kind of like our energy as a whole, as everybody is all connected together.
Right. So if we consider ourselves to all be one, then each part of the collective affects the other part. It's a ripple effect, all from each, each family, each community, and it spreads out all across the entire world and probably everywhere.
And that's why when something like this happens, everybody feels so so sad, so down about it.
You feel it very
your heart
powerfully.
goes out for these people and their families.
And you can get very angry about it too,
And that
because
too.
there's fear associated with it,
Mhm.
and with fear often comes a lot of anger. So with the collective consciousness, the great collective, the great all one that we are part of, and source that we're connected to, what the heck is going on?
Mhm.
And I believe there's some deeper issues we can look at. If we really all have chakra energy centers, then our earth has energy centers, then
Mhm.
we might want to take a look at the energy centers. So I thought we would just cover sort of the chakras around the world that have been sort of assigned to different places around the world. So if you guys know, there's seven main chakras that we typically talk about. We have a lot more chakras than that. Don't want this to seem like a class. I will tell you that we do have a chakra certification level 1 going on right now that I'm teaching with Laura Pace. It's very good. I will say that because that's been the feedback. It's online, and we are into, I believe, we finished class 4 last night. You can catch up on that class. They're recorded, and I would highly recommend it. And we go deep into some chakra information that you may or may not have heard before. But one of the things we don't cover in level 1, we're going to speak a little bit about tonight, is the chakras around the world, and then what chakra is America. A book that I really, really like, and we will write this book for you later. It's called The Book of Chakras, Discover the Hidden Forces Within You, and it's by Ambika Waters, Wauters. And this actually came from Barron's, and I love this book. And she assigns an earthly location to each of the 7 chakras, the primary chakras. I deal a lot with the transpersonal chakras. Those are the chakras that are outside of your body in my Stellar Gateway healings that I work with Archangel Raziel on.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking primarily about the ones in our body. And we're going to get to the United States because that ties in with what we're talking about tonight. What the heck is going on? But the root chakra, that's our first chakra. And that one, she says that earthly connection or location are the Indian preserves and their sacred lands, the sacred lands of all indigenous people. So that would be the root chakra, is her opinion. Now, I know there's some other ones where the root chakra would be considered to be at Mount Shasta. I'm going to read those in a little while. So if you're thinking that, wait, that's, California, Mount Shasta. Yeah, there's another one, but she's talking about countries. Which country is that root?
So this is worldwide
Worldwide.
versus nationwide.
The other one's nationwide too, but it's a different perspective.
Yeah, but it's a different perspective, yeah.
So this would be that country is the root chakra. The root chakra would be the indigenous people, okay? And then for the sacral chakra, she maintains that would be, and I've got to just turn to it, that one, the earthly location for the sacral chakra is, I'm going to just get my eyes on it, Brazil, which makes sense because that's hot and spicy, right? That's our pleasure center. Joy, creativity, and all the sexual connotations that go with the sacral chakra. And then the solar plexus is the United States of America. So that's what we're going to come back to, the solar plexus, because clearly something is off with the United States of America's solar plexus, I believe. And we are the solar plexus for the world, as far as she maintains. And I've thought about that a lot, and I tend to agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why in a little while. And then the next one would be and let me know if I'm skipping any, just because I'm flipping through the pages. I should have written these down. The heart chakra. They're on the back. Thank you. So the heart chakra, and I've already told you where we got these from. The heart chakra, thank you, Erica, is Spain. And then the throat is considered to be, by the author of this book, Italy. The brow or the third eye is considered to be Peru and or the Rocky Mountains. And the crown chakra is India. Now, I will go through the other one. It's the most common association. And Roger, would you like to read these?
Yeah. So these are the ones here in Oh, okay.
No, they're not here.
No, they're not here. Okay, so these are the others that are more popular or
Specific
as-
locations.
Yeah. So first chakra, we have Mount Shasta in California. The second is Lake Titicaca, Peru, Bolivia. Third chakra
And the
is
third chakra, I'll just say, when he says third, I'll tell you what that is. So the third chakra is going to be your solar plexus.
solar plexus, Uluru in Australia. The fourth,
The heart.
heart chakra, Glastonbury, Somerset, and Shaftesbury in Dorset, all in the UK, right?
Right. I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Fish.
that will correspond also with Judy Hall's book, Crystals and Sacred Sites. Okay?
Okay. All right. And then we have the fifth chakra, throat chakra, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the Great Pyramids near Mount Sinai and Mount Olives.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth chakra,
The third eye.
Third
brow
eye.
Chakra.
brow chakra, considered to be Western Europe. Was
Okay.
considered Western Europe. And your seventh chakra, your crown chakra, Mount Kailash in the Himalayas.
Okay.
So the Himalayan.
So you've got a couple of different ideas. We're going to go tonight with the idea that, and then there's even a chart that breaks it down to certain cities in the United States of America. That's something I would like to look at more specifically. I believe that I just didn't 100% resonate with all those, but if we have time, maybe we'll go through those. Okay? But I really wanted to talk mostly about the fact that America as the solar plexus. And I started asking myself why. Why would she say, and she doesn't explain really in here, why America would be considered, the United States of America, as the solar plexus. When we start thinking about what the solar plexus is, the solar plexus is really our power center. It is our source of feeling worthy. It is our source of self-esteem. It's our source of, it's our power center. It's, what else do you want to say about the solar plexus?
Creativity, joy,
That's
happiness.
sacral. That's sacral.
Oh, yeah.
So what else, think about our solar plexus. What is that to you guys? If anybody wants to add in on the chat, what is it? This is actually, it's interesting because this is the exact one we covered last night in our class. Our class is on Monday nights online. So it's all about your power. It's all about how you feel about yourself. It's, do you feel worthy? Do you feel noticed? Do you feel appreciated? Do you feel, it's your sense of self. So when you're in, it's your resilient ego. It's you're worthy just simply because you exist. If you're not in a good place, if you an underactive solar plexus would be, I don't feel good about myself. I'm a people pleaser. Oh, woe is me. I'm really always trying to win people over. What else? I just feel very insecure. Not so much insecure about my livelihood and where my money's going to come from. That would be the root chakra, but more just about me. And so, and then an overactive, because a lot of people will talk about chakras being out of balance. An overactive chakra would be somebody who they're totally full of themselves. They're totally, they totally might be overly controlling. They might be manipulative. Those sorts of things, right? Would y'all agree with that? Okay, does anybody else have anything to add on that? It's keeping it really, really simple, but that's kind of where it lands. And it has to do, really, the solar plexus, it is right there, what I would call your stomach. It's your midsection, in between your belly button and kind of your lower ribs. It affects, if you're out of whack in that area, you're going to have stomach aches. Like when a child says, I have a stomach ache, they're usually worried about something. They're having anxiety about something. They're not real happy. In the positive, you're going to feel a very positive warrior mentality, a leader mentality. You feel a good sense of self. Whereas in the negative, the archetype would be the servant mentality. You feel like like I said, you're really wanting to please others all the time. So how does this tie in with, really, how does it tie in with somebody who what's going on in our country right now? Well, it comes right down to feelings of worthiness and feeling disenfranchised or not feeling connected. And I feel like there's a lot of people in the world right now who just don't feel connected, they feel like they're the outsiders. And I'm saying, I think this needs to be looked at. I really, really do. I really believe that the root of the problem needs to be looked at. I did listen to President Trump's speech where he gave many reasons. He talked about videos. He talked about, did anybody else listen to that? I listened to the whole thing, his speech, press release or whatever it was. It was a speech yesterday. He addressed the nation, and he said, videos and mental health issues and to catch those warning signs early. And one of the things I think we need to look at is what's going on with somebody's solar plexus. I mean, when someone is feeling disconnected and feeling like they don't fit in and feeling like they've been bullied or feeling like they've been disenfranchised, that doesn't mean they're going to go out and run out and shoot up a Walmart or a school. I'm not saying that. But I do think there's some sort of void. Mm-hmm. We have to look at it. What is going on with the chakras of our country and the people of our country? And if we are the solar plexus, which I think we are, think about it. This isn't being braggadocious about America, but you think so many people have come to our country because they want to live the American dream, and that it was a place to come to pursue a dream, right? It was. Many of our ancestors came to Ellis Island to pursue a better life and to seek a better life. And they came with a dream and with very little to their name. And they came because you could pursue a dream. What is that? That's solar plexus. That's feeling like, wow, I want to make something out of myself. I want to feel good about myself. I am worthy. But when our country's lost and we are under, I believe, active in our solar plexus, which is what's going on right now, maybe some of it's overactive, but whatever it is, it's out of balance, then we got to get it back in balance. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
I agree. So how do we do that?
Well, I think that we need to balance and align the chakras in America. I think every individual needs to be working on it, but I think America as a whole needs some healing. I think instead of all the arguing that's going on and all the blame and all the assigning, because everybody has an opinion and everybody's making big, bold statements about what they believe, and you are entitled to your opinion. But really the bottom line is, and this is where the heart chakra comes in too, but it really starts here. The sense connected with the solar plexus is your vision. And so the solar plexus, the vision of the country, where are we going? What's the vision? What's the clairvoyance? Where do we see America going? And if we can't come together and see what we stand for and what we really want as beauty, a beautiful country, the land of the free and the hope for the future, then I really am concerned for our country. So I do think we need some healing.
Makes sense.
And I think that we can do really a chakra healing for each of the chakras in our country right now. And we'll go through a meditation for that. But specifically, I think we need to send healing to everyone who feels isolated, everyone who feels that they've been, whether it's real or it's not, however they're feeling something. And if they're not getting the help they need, and clearly we need to send healing to the people who've lost their loved ones and had their loved ones taken away this weekend by, atrocious acts, which are atrocious. Mm-hmm. They are. But to just all start arguing about So you immediately argue about what's going to fix it and not look at our core issues. What do we look at when we have a disease? If it's us, an individual,
How to fix it?
how to fix it? But what do
Oh,
we,
the symptoms.
the symptoms, and we look at the dis-ease. I mean, what is going on? I've had some health issues this year, and I had to look at what is going on with me underneath the health issues. I mean, maybe I'm not taking good care of myself, but also what emotionally is going on, what psychologically is going on that may be causing some of those issues that have developed into a physical issue, things that I've pushed down. And our country is pushing aside issues and not dealing with, in my opinion, potentially some mental health. Maybe that's a stigma and people aren't getting help for that. And so there's no need to argue over that. There's no need for people to take sides over that. Our country can come together on that. Our country can come together and say that we need to have some healing. Everybody should be able to agree on that.
Yeah.
Everybody should be able to agree that if I was going to do a chakra healing or a chakra balancing, let's call it that, and get my chakras aligned, and I think we should every now and then, for sure. Why wouldn't America need that? Why doesn't the country need it? Why doesn't the world need it? Right?
Okay.
Okay. So, do we want to do something in between, or do we want to do the meditation now?
Do a giveaway.
Okay.
So
Let's do a giveaway.
do a giveaway. So we talked about tonight giving away your chakra kit that you actually created. Okay.
With help, by
With
the way.
help.
This
yes.
is a team effort.
So this is actually really cool. It has the 10. Inside you will find a set of Oracle chakra cards. How many? 36?
No.
36, right?
I don't
36.
know the total.
39.
32.
32. Yeah. So it's really cool. It's a little set though.
And
There's even a cute little message from Michelle on here.
And each of the cards are either an action, an affirmation, or a reflection. So
Yep.
one's an action that you can take, one is an affirmation, like a mantra that you can say, and the reflection is something that you can actually journal about.
Then we have got this handy dandy, and I'm gonna knock everything off when I pick it
I'll
up.
help you.
Handy dandy casting cloth. Pretty cool, right? So you have the casting cloth that comes with it.
It's really beautiful, if I may say so myself. Laura Pace designed that. Erica helped.
And then we have 7 crystals for castings. Oh, it's tied. So 7 crystals for casting. And what is even better, inside part of the kit is actually enough beads and materials to make 3 chakra bracelets.
So we say it's one for you, one for a friend, and then one for you to give someone in need. Where that actually came from is Roger and I did a charity event at one point, and the women that we did it for, they made 3 bracelets. They made one for the charity, and they made one for themselves, and one to give away to another woman at the event. I won't say the name of the organization because I didn't ask them if I could on here, but it was tearjerker when they were going around giving their bracelets to the other women. It was so moving because these were women in dire situations. And so they're actually intuitive chakra bracelets that you make. We won't go all into it, but they're really pretty cool.
And then we have the YouTube video on how to use it all too.
Yes,
So it's kind of cool. You get the kit, you get the video, everything ready to go, right?
Exactly.
So, and tonight we're going to actually run this till the end of the week. Or actually, let's run it till Sunday. You guys are going to have to really put your thinking caps on and come up with a really good number, because I got my number. I've got it right here on my paper. You're going to have to guess the number. She's seeing if I got it.
Invisible ink, I think.
Yeah.
You
So
will
I've
have
got
one
you.
right
I will
there.
have a number, and you're going to have to guess a number, and then we'll go through all the list Sunday night, and we're going to see who's the closest to the number without going over, right?
I don't know. Without going over.
Closest to the number, my number,
If you
Without
repeat the
going over.
number that somebody else, you got to scan above, because
Yeah.
if somebody's already written your number down, not
You're-
two people are winning.
Yeah, not 2 people. This is going to be a one-time giveaway. So, and we're all right. Oh, parameters. Woohoo! So it's going to be somewhere between 1 and 3,000. Got a big field to play in tonight. 1 to 3,000.
And also, I'm just going to tell you, you need to have liked and followed and subscribed, whatever it is, to, that's to get readings or anything, to, what are they? To Michelle Soultopia on YouTube, and to SoulWhat, and go ahead and like our Soultopia Facebook page, if you would. And then I would love it if you'd actually, it'd be great to us if you go ahead and follow us on Instagram. It's Soultopia on Instagram.
We'd love to hear some reviews and feedback
And
too.
we would love reviews and feedback. That would be
We
nice.
love that. Hear
Yeah,
what y'all
that would be
think.
really nice.
Tell everybody how much you love Roger.
Yeah. So that would be great. So let's go ahead, if y'all don't mind, and everybody just get a little bit comfortable. We're going to go into it now? Okay. What time are we at?
We're good.
We're good?
14 minutes.
Okay, we have 14 minutes left. Okay. So, all right. So if everybody would just get comfortable and close your eyes, and if everybody would just start by taking in a deep breath and exhaling. And again, breath in and then exhale. And through this meditation, we do call upon the archangels for specifically our country, the angels and archangels that protect the United States of America. We call on Archangel Michael for protection. Archangel Michael is also the archangel for policemen and the military. And we call on Michael. He's a strong and mighty archangel with many angels in his quote-unquote army of angels. He's very powerful. We call upon him for protection, as many, and I'll just go ahead and say it, as many of us have children returning to school. We want to dispel any fears and know that we are covered in safety. And that we are just wrapped up and surrounded by protection. And Michael just encircles with his sword of light our country and then our entire planet. And then for our planet, and then you can take it to each individual too, but we're going to go through our planet. We just go to the root chakra of our planet. For the survival of our planet. For the sustenance and just the way that our planet has been cared for or not cared for by those of us who have been given the use of this planet and have come here to visit for a time this beautiful planet, and specifically going to the United States of America, to this great country. We go to the root chakra and we ask for safety and security and stability. And we imagine just a brilliant red, a beautiful solid red. Think of like a red jasper or even a hematite with the red inside of it that comes and just brings us great stability and security and a knowingness that we are strong and we are survivors. And we begin to gently, for our planet, spin that chakra. Get it spinning just in a gentle way, not overactive, not underactive, just gently spinning. And then we move up to the sacral chakra for our country, that where we find joy, we find our creativity, we find our pleasure. We think of an orange color like a carnelian. You can think of a warm color of orange and you feel the warmth. Think of like a fruit like an orange. And we want to bring joy back to our nation. A sense of creativity and all the wonderful things that we can do. And for those who do feel that they don't have hope and they don't know what they want to do and they feel lost, they don't seem to have any pleasure or joy in life, we ask that be brought back into our country as a whole and then to each individual in the country. And then we move up to the solar plexus, and we'll linger here for a while as we think of the United States as the solar plexus, as the place where dreams can come true, and how this was a place for opportunity. And for so many years, it was thought of the place that people wanted to come to make their dreams come true. And how we were such an inclusive nation. And how many of us came here, and our ancestors came here to begin a new life and a dream of starting a wonderful new life, and they felt a sense of worth and happiness and new beginnings. And we want that now for our country. And for each person in this country to feel worthy, to feel their sense of worth. And we ask that when we see someone, that we lend a smile to that person. That if we see someone who seems dejected or left out or down, or if you sense that about a friend or even someone you don't know that well, that you just do that one small gesture that may make the difference in their life that day or in their life, as opposed to just going on by and assuming someone else will take care of them. And just imagine a beautiful yellow filling our country, a beautiful, beautiful ray of sunshine, a beautiful citrine crystal, any kind of yellow, a beautiful yellow flower, and all the things that we can imagine for our country when we are at our best, when we value every soul, because we know we are all one and we are all a part of the collective consciousness, and we are all directly connected to Source. And we send now as much yellow, golden light to anyone who comes to your mind that maybe has been dejected and down and doesn't feel worthy and maybe feels hopeless. You maybe can't fix it, but you can always send them yellow, golden light. And then we move up to the heart chakra. And we do have wonderful, loving people in our country. people who care. We've always been a really compassionate nation. And we ask that we get back in touch with that compassion. We ask for leaders to step up that begin to speak of compassion and love. And showing love to those in our country who maybe don't feel that love. Because we, again, are all one. And there is not one more important than another. We just ask that our heart energy expand out to others, that in no way, ever will take away or diminish or deplete our energy. Showing love energetically to others will not do that. It will only increase your energetic love tenfold. And you can think of green and pink energy. And then move up to your throat chakra and think of a sky blue. And ask for words of peace. Even when you know you need to say something. Even when you know you need to speak up and not keep your mouth shut, that's okay. But you can still ask for healing words and words of peace. And that the message be delivered and channeled in such a way that it will be received, that it will be heard, that you will have a receptive ear to at least listen to your side of and your belief and your side of what you believe in the situation. But we call upon the angels to help us and our guides to help us speak in a more compassionate and loving way to one another. Because words can be so hurtful. And then we draw our attention up to our third eye or brow chakra, where we have a beautiful indigo color. It's a purplish, bluish color. And we ask that we be given the truth in our country, that we be given discernment, that we see the truth, and we see what really needs to take place in our country to be whole again. That we see what you and I and every individual can do as an individual, because each person does matter. Every single person is a part of the whole. So ask for what you can do to make a difference, whether that just be a smile as you go up the elevator with someone at work who maybe looks really sad, or as you go to school, or whether it's you getting involved actively in something in politics. Whatever it is, it all makes a difference. And then for our country, we go up to our crown chakra. And with all the talk of enlightenment and awakening, we ask for those who truly believe that they've had something awakened in them, that they choose to share that in a loving way and not argue with others. It's okay to take a stand. There will be times that we must take stands. But we again ask for the way, the spiritual connection to Source, to know how best to do that. And we ask that our country have a spiritual awakening. And that chakra become open and begin to spin in a healthy manner, not with delusions of grandeur, but with ways of connecting all of us together and all of us to Source. And then we ask that all the chakras begin to flow together smoothly and with open valves, in a sense, where they all work together, every chakra. We send from our crown chakras into our country the violet golden light of healing, of restoration and peace. And although some of us can't even begin to fathom the loss that others must feel, we send emerald light and healing to those who are grieving and hurting. We send blue light to those who are so angry. We send the blue light to those who are making decisions for our country so that they can communicate in a peaceful manner and listen to one another. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly open your eyes. You might want to wiggle your fingers and your toes and come back into your body and into your space. Okay.
Very good.
Thank you. 1 minute? Okay. Any comments?
No, I was relaxed over here and almost started coughing though because of my allergies are so bad.
That's all right.
I made it all the way through to the end, and then
Holding
it was just holding.
I'll show you guys. Are there any comments from listeners or anything that we wanted to?
Selena said healing for all.
Mm-hmm. Healing for all.
Mhm.
And that's something that's really just hit me. It's for everybody, because we really are one. I mean, you know, my heart breaks for everybody involved, everyone involved. I've said that a lot to Roger.
Christy said healing, love, and peace. That was beautiful.
Thank you. I'll just show you guys a couple things. This other book, I showed you that we'll list them, but I didn't have time to talk about the Earth Power cards that we sell. And I really love these products, so I make no excuses for talking about these products. Stacy DeMarco has a deck called Earth Power Oracle, an atlas for the soul. It talks about places that you can go visit. It is an oracle deck, so you would choose certain cards, and so you could get a reading from them. But it also, the booklet is great because it tells you actually the coordinates of that place, and it tells you how to go visit, what that place stands for, and
Talks about the energy of the place, right?
the energy of the place, and it tells you actually how to go visit, and it gives you practicality in there too. I'll give you an example. Well, it's interesting. The very first one
Statue of
is
Liberty.
the Statue of Liberty. Do you want to read that, Roger?
So on the Statue of Liberty card here, it says, I am free to be who I really am. I have a right to my own happiness and sanctuary. I am free to be authentic.
And so the location, of course, is New York, USA. The element is air. She gives a description of how we came into getting the Statue of Liberty. So she gives a little history for those of you who like it. You know me, I love the books. And then she gives you when you visit. So she gives you a little divination message, and then when you visit, how you would visit. And it's everything from all over the world. The magnetic North Pole, Glastonbury tour that we just talked about, fairy circles, just places all over the world. So this is a great, and the cards are beautiful in this deck. And you know, this doesn't always sell a lot in our store, and it always kind of saddens me, and I always wonder if we should do a class on it, because it's just such a beautiful deck to connect with places in the world, especially for those of you who get to travel that much. I also love this chakra reading card deck by Rachel Sharman. A lot of our readers read with this deck, so it's great in connecting with your chakras. And Oracle Map is out here too. This is one of my favorite decks by Colette Baron Reed. And of course, we mentioned the chakra kit. Is that what we're giving away as a prize?
Yeah, that's
that's a dadgum good prize, you guys. And
yeah.
And so
You better start guessing those numbers.
yeah. So we really want to thank you. Yeah, Erica.
We've got time, but I've got a question on YouTube I want to address from Mindy. Can you really send healing yellow gold light to others and they receive it through distance?
Yes, I totally believe that. There's a study by Robert Sheldrake that talks about distance healing. So I believe any kind of healing can be sent distance, including sending gold light. I absolutely do. And even if people don't want to receive, even if they're like, there's no way I want to receive that. And let me address something ethically. Do I think that you have to ask permission? Typically, I always say to do any kind of grid work or anything, you have to ask permission. I would say when we're talking about a universal peace, I don't believe you have to go and ask permission from every single person in the whole world to send peace to the world. The Reiki organization has a grid set up at the North Pole and the South Pole, and actually one in Israel. So that's, and it's for peace. It's a grid for peace. So the answer to that question is that you absolutely can. And there's been a lot of scientific studies. The 100th monkey theory is one that explains how distance healing works. So that's a great question, and the answer is emphatically yes, you can. Great question.
Yep.
So thank you guys so much. Anything else?
Yeah,
for me?
thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was
Did you have
good.
something?
No.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. That's it for tonight. It was more of a serious show because I just really we felt that it was something that we needed to do tonight for our country and actually for the world, but specifically for the United States. I'm going to sound corny, but I love my country. I love my country, and our country, I think, is already great. And I think there's some things we need to work on, but I think it starts at the individual level and finding our pathway back to why we're here. And that, to me, talks about enlightenment, and it talks about awakening. And we really welcome people at Soultopia to come find that. And so, anyway, please be sure to follow and like us on SoulWhat And also on iHeartRadio, we would really, really appreciate if you would go on and give us some reviews on there.
Mhm.
Spotify, Google Podcasts, Facebook, and at Michelle Soultopia on YouTube. And thank you so much for listening to SoulWhat, where we discuss and you decide what is important to your soul. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.